The National Association of Social Workers celebrates 60 years of service as social work paves the way for change.
I'm Dion Lassiter from the City of Brotherly Love and Sisterly Affection. I've been a member of the NASW Pennsylvania chapter since 2010. NASW is an amazing brand, so it just made common sense to join that organization where you had policy wonks, you had individuals who were on the front lines of macro and micro policy and things of that nature. And then the work that I do as a public intellectual just showed a lot of synergy between the organization, and I just want to be affiliated with individuals who are pledging themselves to alleviate suffering all over the globe. Well, the first thing I think the organization can do is to have in-services around self-care. Social workers, we take care of so many other individuals. We also need to learn the mechanism of taking care of ourselves. I think also there needs to be a frank conversation on a national level with regards to loan repayment programs. When you're coming out of your bachelor's program, your master's program, or your doctoral program, social workers intersect with so many populations that oftentimes they're working under duress, they're working under, so many conditions where the caseload is stacked up against them, and then they also have to combat that with, a salary that may not be conducive to pay back a student loan. And so I think that we can, really champion our politicians to really start passing legislation that helps with that. I think also it has to be some marketing strategies where we tell the story of social work. We need social workers in our government. And so I think, once again, pushing that narrative so individuals can know that social work is not either or, that it's in fact both and. Ironically, the profession of social work chose me. I come out of the same tradition as Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., and around the age of 16, I read a quote in which King articulated, "Life's most persistent and urgent question is, what are you doing to serve others?" And from that point on, I knew that the profession of social work would be a profession in which I can manage an opportunity to really incorporate social justice to speak back to themes of suffering in my community, but throughout various communities. A great experience, but also an experience that will live with me forever. We were in Haiti 4 weeks after the earthquake, working with individuals who were suffering from PTSD, separation anxiety, abandonment issues. You saw humanity fragile, and you also saw the profession of social work step to the professional plate to help humanity to find joy in transcending self, to serve others who were at that particular point in time not knowing if they were actually going to overcome some of the challenges that they were enduring. It was also an opportunity to look at factors of resiliency. The people of Haiti are resilient, and even though the data spoke to the literacy rates, the high HIV and AIDS rates, we saw full humanity there as individuals were trying to bounce back from the catastrophic event of something like an earthquake. I think in America, race has always mattered. And for that fact, democracy matters. We get the first African-American president of the United States of America, and a lot of individuals were quick to say that we're post-racial. Post-racial is still a mirage, and we still have a lot of work to do to address forms of oppression, forms of marginalization, and we have to put those racial elephants in the room. And so I don't think that the question of racism and forms of power and forms of privilege have ever gone away. I think that oftentimes we're in denial as it relates to those factors. And I think the profession of social work, or matter of fact, I know the profession of social work has an opportunity to address all forms of marginalization and oppression for all individuals. I am encouraging my students when they get out to join NASW. I'm also encouraging them to become licensed. I'm talking to them about the benefits of LSW, LCSW, getting their doctorate in social work, getting their PhD in social welfare, to recognize that social work is just not Maternity Care Coalition, YMCA, Department of Health and Human Services, but it's far expansive, that you can do some work with UNICEF, you can do some work internationally, you can do some work in your community, you can join a councilmatic or legislative branch, and that the profession of social work is widespread and that there are so many things they can do. And fundamentally, they need to know that joining NASW gives them an opportunity for greater exposure, but also an opportunity to network with a vast amount of individuals who have passion and who have an intellectual property for the specific discipline or topical area that they want to engage in. I think social workers have to be well versed on some of the things that are happening on a national level. We certainly should be on CNN, MSNBC, Fox, various other news outlets, providing the narrative as it relates to Ferguson, as it relates to police brutality, as it relates to challenges that are happening with various conflicts, whether it's famine, whether it's homelessness, whether it's poverty. I've been fortunate and I'm humbled to have a partnership with NASW as it celebrates its 60th year anniversary, because NASW has provided me an opportunity to get in front of some of these media outlets to tell the story about social work. And so once again, NASW provides us that opportunity, and it's great to be partnering with them. Social workers need to be on the front lines on the radio. They need to be in print. They need to be providing the narrative of some of the challenges that are happening in their community. We need to seize the opportunity.